when I got the letter, I just passed my driving test.
I was in my law class.
It was the day after my 18th birthday.
And my brother phoned through and was like, there's a letter for you.
There's a letter for you.
I think I kind of ran down the street because I was really excited.
Very excited.
I got a call from a form tutor and it was like, congratulations. I was like, on what?
You've got a letter from Gordon Brown. I photocopied it and sent it to every relative. Don't worry.
Congratulations on becoming the first ever Global Fellows. I'm pleased and proud to be able to give you the opportunity to visit China, India and Brazil. All our lives are being changed by the increasing vigour and aspirations of these new economies. In Britain, we need to respond to that competitive challenge at the same time as making the most of the enormous and exciting opportunities that it will bring.
You know, straight away you're into the culture, and then, you know, straight away you're on the roads. You know, how busy Delhi was definitely, you know, one of the things that you'd have to see to believe.
Just seeing the sheer amount of building work going on and just the sheer rapid growth in China was an incredible thing, and quite hard to grasp that we'd come from a country that just has 60 million people and the city alone has 40 million is something that was quite hard to fathom.
It's hard to sort of describe average because the divide between the rich and poor is so big.
I mean, on one side of the road you could be having a massive hotel. On the other side there may well be a favela. And I think that was kind of one of the biggest shocks to me. And I felt that as somebody coming from the West, I felt that I'd had quite a privileged life in comparison. I think that we need to consider the implications of an increasingly interconnected world in terms of, you know, globalisation and so on. I know a lot more about what it means to be a global citizen, and I think that it certainly opened my eyes and broadened my horizons.
Their system over there is very, very competitive.
They had very, very high ambitions. They were very studious people.
So many people are sort of held back by poverty, and there are so few opportunities for them. Education really is their way out.
They work from like 7 in the morning and sometimes till 10 in the evening, and that's set school hours. And then on top of that, they have homework.
Compared to our system, I would almost class this as lazy, the amount of work that we do compared to theirs.
It was just mind-blowing sort of learning how much work they actually have to do for their schools and how little we really do actually.
We have a lot more of a relaxed atmosphere at school compared to there, where it's, you know, people would turn up, they would work, you know, flat out, and then go home, you know, and work some more. And it did make you wonder, why aren't we doing that?
Everything counts towards what they're trying to achieve at the very end, which is a good university and then a good job afterwards.
We went to Cadbury's, everyone there spoke Portuguese obviously first, Spanish and English. Anyone who's successful there speaks more than 1 or even 2 languages. You need to be able to work with other cultures, other countries, and because we are in a globalising world, it's vital that you can do that.
I went to HSBC and it was a really good experience. I think a lot of us have had that idea that big businesses, they're awful and they're out for our money, and actually I'm not really interested in that kind of aspect of thing. But actually what we saw was that business is sustainable, and to be sustainable as a service for people, they've got to care about the people. So we managed to see a lot of their social projects.
One of the things that we did at Cambridge University Press was actually to go and actively see the projects, and just seeing the work that they were doing and the changes that were being made because of that, and because of their dedication and their passion, really inspired me to think, well, if they're doing that in Brazil, well, why can't I do something similar in my own community?
But lucky enough, I was working in Bangalore Shell office. They've made a fireplace worth about £5, a simple device where you can still use the local wood, but it burns it in a way which is cleaner and doesn't, you know, give off as much smoke, which will really impact, you know, the actual conditions inside the house. Shell took us in the houses which didn't have the fireplace they'd developed, and it was when we took the picture, the flash on the camera lit up the whole room, and you saw the black smoke lining all the walls. It was nice to see them, sort of giving back to the the local community in a way which isn't really just for profit.
Going to Shell and seeing that they were making efforts to increase their corporate social responsibilities and then providing jobs like a large labour force which the country has kind of changed my opinion.
They weren't operating there for cheap labour, they were operating there because the talent, and that surprised all of us who were there.
All the stereotypes were blown away within the first day, basically. I don't think I could ever go back to thinking how I did.
Don't look at yourself as only a young person in the UK. Look at yourself as a young person in the whole of the world.
We're not just competing with other graduates from the UK, it's global now.
Going into youth crime and drugs and stuff, it's just going to limit where you're going to get to, because they're more focused people and you have to strive to be there.
If we don't perform to their standard, we're going to fall behind and probably get overtaken by some of the emerging economies.
It's going to have an impact on all of our lives. And so, well, you're going to have to get used to that, really.
The fact that countries like Brazil, India and China are developing on such a rapid scale, I think it offers a perfect opportunity for us to learn more about them and learn about what's working, what isn't working, and about working with them as opposed to against them.